Good evening, everybody. My name is DJ Pj-roc, your DJ's favorite DJ. That is an actual fact. We get together on most Saturday evenings to hang out with Pj-roc's members. I call you guys affectionately the Rockettes. Just made that up on the spot. And I can see my two friends behind the scene not laughing, so that probably did not go over very well. But that's okay. There's lots more where that came from. I'll be here all week long. As they say in Mexico, no se preocupe. Don't worry. So it's Saturday evening, and I'd like to welcome all of the channel members. I'd also like to extend a hearty welcome to those of you who aren't members and are here visiting tonight to see whether or not you want to get off that fence and jump in. I dare you. I dare you to become a member. I double dare you. Do it tonight. I bet you won't. We hang out here, folks. We have a good time. We talk music. We talk about other stuff. We check out all kinds of music. I have a huge announcement to make tonight and some exclusive behind-the-scenes stuff that only my channel members get to see. No, I'm not talking about my gold stash. No. Nobody sees that. But I do have a huge announcement to make at some point this evening, and I will like to share some behind the scenes exclusive stuff. Members, welcome in. Let's have a conversation. Mr. H, you happen to be eating.
Yes,
and
sir.
I caught you.
Yes.
I caught you.
Popeye's chicken.
That sounds so good. I could
Louisiana's chicken. Another non-sponsor sponsor.
Well, you know what? I have to do this. It's so important that I get the competition on in here. Popeye's chicken, Kentucky Fried Chicken. Which one's better, Tazz?
Neither. I actually miss two things from Texas. One is Whataburger. Like, can't go wrong with Whataburger.
I love Whataburger breakfast.
We're talking chicken here. Come on now.
Hold on. But second, a regional chicken restaurant in Central Texas, Bush's Chicken, the best chicken I've ever had. And that's saying something considering I work for a KFC.
So I got to rein Taz back in once again. Once again, you leave her to her own devices and she's somewhere out on Pluto. I'm talking about
of the two, Popeyes. I would prefer KFC.
Okay. Popeyes, folks, yeah, we talk about whatever. Here we are comparing chicken franchises. You won't get this anywhere else. I promise you. At some point, I don't know when it happened, H, Popeyes, I want to say, changed their recipe or their whole approach. And to me, at least, and I could be out there on Pluto, the food started tasting a bit different. The biscuits weren't quite the same. I used to be a Popeyes man. I'm talking about the dirty rice. You know what I'm talking about? That Louisiana seasoned rice. And those biscuits. You cannot go wrong with some Popeyes biscuits. Love me some Popeyes. KFC, give me the original. The biscuits are too fluffy for me.
But even their original
recipe to me is too salty.
Yeah, you guys were just talking at the same time, so
Ladies
Didn't
first.
hear a word. Didn't hear a
Ladies
word.
KFC's original is a little too salty for me. I really like the extra crispy, but I'm also a big fan of the KFC chicken sandwiches, which use the extra crispy, which has some brown sugar in it.
Very cool. Very cool. Laurie
And,
Thomas of
and I'm just saying KFC's original recipe is not their original recipe anymore. That's not the original recipe is not the original that I used to eat when back in the 70s.
Okay, Colonel.
So here's the deal. In the around 2010, I want to say, the trans fat thing was getting rid of trans fat was all the rage. KFC actually went in, and to get rid of trans fats in their oil, they changed the oil, and in doing so, they found that they added butter to their oil. It gave a similar flavor, but not a perfect match. So that's what they've done. Is our oil has butter in it now, and being that we do KFC and Taco Bell at my place, the nacho fries and like the chalupas and stuff that we fry has a little bit of a buttery taste, which I like.
Well, I'm glad we started off tonight talking about chicken. I brought it up. I asked for it. Now I know more than I ever wanted to know about the grease at KFC. It has butter in it. Thank you, Taz.
You were saying something else about Lori?
Yeah. No, I was just going to acknowledge folks. Tim W. from Weston, Colorado is in the house. Howdy, Tim. We also have Hillbilly Hippie. I like that combination. So tell me, are you really a hillbilly hippie? I'm really feeling that combination. Welcome in, my hillbilly hippie friend. Yeah. So as you guys know, we've opened up, hey, Deborah, we've opened up our members forum, our exclusive club, to the general public so they can come on in and see what it is we do here when we get together into our members forum. So for those of you who weren't with me live earlier, or for those of you that did not see the replay of that live, PJ has started, I don't know if you can bring it up, Taz. PJ has recently started a brand new channel. Yes, indeed. Another channel. H is going, another channel? You can't manage the two you got. So H, I made that decision because, so I'm enjoying, obviously, because of you, exploring country music. And as you know, I've become an avid fan of the music and the people that bring us this music, the stories, the history, the whole thing. You know, I consider myself an amateur music historian, constantly learning every day. On my current channel, on this channel, we tend to focus more so on the classic end of things, right? Stuff from, I don't know, the 40s, all the way up through the 90s. Yes, we've dabbled into some newer stuff, but not a whole lot. And I've come to the realization that I really need to further my exploration. There's no way I could continue exploring country music without seeing the lineage of Hank Williams today. How does country music represent itself in a very modern world? What does that look like? I have no idea. I can tell you about the 40s, the 50s, the 60s, but this is my attempt, Mr. H, to check out new country music. So the new channel is, thank you, Taz, Pj-roc on New Country. What are your thoughts, Mr. H?
Well, when you say New Country, is that I heard you last night? Because even though I didn't text because I was at the casino and they don't like me being on the phone, but I was listening in. Is that Gen 6 stuff that you guys were talking about?
Well, yeah. So I think there are a number of different names. The one that I've heard bandied about most often is New Country. Of course, I heard the term Gen 6 from Tazz, as there are 6 generations of country music, the 6 obviously being the latest iteration of country music. So what I'm understanding is anything after 99. So the whole sound wave change, more or less. And again, I'm learning. It's up to you guys to correct me and steer me right. So there was a definite shift, H, in the 2000s as far as the sound. And of course, a new generation coming of age and getting into country music, new producers, the whole thing. Radio at some point made a shift and made some decisions about what they were going to play. So yes, I think that's what New Country means, but that's what this new channel is all about.
I know that even now, country's going through a change again, because I know early on in the 2000s, there was a lot of patriotic songs and stuff like that, because especially after 9/11 and stuff. But I even noticed that now in the last couple of years, it's like they're moving away from that a little bit. Although you get, who is it? Was it Jason Aldean? And tried that in a small town or something like that.
Yeah.
Not so much patriotic, but more, hey, don't try that crap in this area. You can do that in the big cities and stuff like that, but don't try that in a small town because we're not going to put up with it. So according to change it, it's like there's a shift again.
According to Tim H, he's going to keep an open mind. He's already subscribed to the channel. By the way, H, you can take just a couple of minutes to log on to the new channel and subscribe. We'll give you a couple of minutes if you need to.
First of all, I think, is this a live shot right now showing 4 subscribers?
Yes, sir.
Yep.
Yes, sir.
I think it should be refreshed.
Really?
I think you need to refresh it.
Let's refresh it, Tazz. My favorite Tasmania.
Before
got
it said
5. So Mr. H did jump on there. Well, thank you, sir. I sure appreciate it.
Before you even said it, I had already subscribed.
You the man. So according to Tim in Western Colorado, he follows directions so well. He pops on every time and puts up hello from Western Colorado. Listen, one of the things I've learned from exploring country music is that in my mind, and I think in a lot of people's mind, Tazz, there's definitely, like in a lot of music, a generational divide. And I think that's pretty common in all genres of music. There's always that split of this ain't R&B. What's that? This ain't hip hop. That's mumbling. What are they talking about? So as a DJ, I've seen this in other genres, and I'm sure lots of people have seen it as well. There's definitely some kind of a generational divide, and to some degree, that's got to be expected. The music is not going to stay the same. It just can't stay the same. So what you see with a lot of reactors, and I'm going to get off my soapbox in a minute, I promise. What you see with a lot of reactors, especially younger people, are now listening. A lot of them are now listening to older R&B. Obviously, they missed it, right? I'm talking about R&B from the 80s that I grew up on and even going further back. So there's always going to be that nostalgic factor of people wanting to look back. But to me, I think, hey, Cindy, I just think music naturally changes over time because you get an influx of new people and new ideas. And oftentimes it's going to sound very different from its cousin. You have any thoughts on that, Taz?
I think you hit it right on. All music evolves. I mean, hip hop 50
Some people
years
would
ago
say
was not
some
hip
people would
hop
say
today.
devolve.
Well, hip hop today is not hip hop of 50 years ago.
No.
R&B of today is not R&B when it started. No music stays the same. It evolves, and it tends to, like you said, have those generational gaps that I didn't grow up on this, so I don't like it, or I wasn't introduced to this, so I don't like it. I was lucky enough to have grandparents that listened to everything from Hank Williams to George Jones to Alabama and beyond. For the most part, my love is from the 40s to 99. But as you know, there's newer stuff that I like, but it's not, I don't like most of radio country music. I'm more of an album track person. You know, the stuff that radio's not going to get. That's the stuff I'm digging up.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. That's how a lot of people feel. Mr. H, anything to add on that?
Well, just the fact that, I mean, I think it was misquoted. I don't mean to be rude or anything, but I had this conversation with my son yesterday because I saw on the TV when they're talking about celebrating the 50 years of hip hop.
Right.
And I'm like, 50 years, my butt. You talking that was hip hop when I was 8 years old? No, there wasn't. And I even did a search on Google, and it was like, now hip hop was like more like 42, 44 years. It's not quite, I'm like, little truth in advertising there.
Well, hip hop was more underground in the beginning. So it didn't go, you didn't have it really didn't get out of New York until 5-10 years in. So, but then again, country music really didn't get out of Tennessee until 20 years in. So sometimes it takes a while for it to evolve. I mean, look at the 90s. The 90s is known for grunge, that Seattle grunge sound. Well, Seattle grunge sound started in like in mid 80s. That's when it started, but it didn't go mainstream until later.
Yeah. So Mr. H, I think so. Hip hop, as the hip hop DJ here, sort of got its start in around 72, 73.
Correct.
Yeah, 72, 73. But there were elements that were fragmented, as in all kinds of music, right? There were things happening. The cells were crawling around. They hadn't necessarily stuck together yet, right?
Okay. All right.
So there were different elements and stuff sort of happening. There were rumblings of something changing. It's a fascinating story. I know we're on country right now. It's a fascinating story, the origins of hip hop and what birthed hip hop. It's really an interesting story. But I would say, H, from my understanding, 72, around 72 is kind of where officially things started with that particular genre. Cindy says,
well, I'm using fuzzy math then to calculate the years.
It's all good. I don't like my math fuzzy. I like my slippers fuzzy, Taz, my slippers. According to Cindy, she's old too. No, same here. Love the big band era, but love something in almost any genre.
Can't go wrong with big band.
No,
Tommy
you can't.
Dorsey, yeah.
I am not so familiar with Big Ben. Gus's Fried Chicken in Memphis, Tennessee. What you talking about, Maria Afonso? She's still on the chicken vibe. And that's good. I have not had chicken from Memphis. I have had Memphis barbecue because there's a really good, or there used to be a place in San Diego called, I don't know if you've ever been there, H. I want to say it was Kansas City Barbecue or something like that. It was actually featured in the movie Top Gun. It was one of the best places in Southern California to get Kansas barbecue, which is really good. Can't beat Texas barbecue, but it's really good. So when I'm in Memphis again, Marie, I'll have to check them out. Was it Gus's Fried Chicken? Is that what it was?
Yeah, Gus's
That's
fried chicken.
Yeah.
Gus's Fried Chicken. Well, again, Marie, good to see you here. And I'm hoping that you decide to become a member so you can hang out with us on a permanent basis. Now, Taz, I'm going to need your technical expertise because, so I've made the announcement, right? I have a brand new channel. What I'd like to do is to give the folks here some of what you members get on a regular basis, right? Some behind the scenes stuff. So I have a video that is almost ready to go up onto the new channel. The first video. And if everything works out well, Mr. H,
Okay.
everybody here on live with me, hey, Nicole, will see us put up for the very first time on the new channel, the first new video. By the way, Taz, I need to see on the screen the new channel so people can take a couple of seconds and subscribe. What are you doing to me, Taz? Do you want this thing to be a success or not?
Oh,
what's going on?
7 subscribers now.
Pj-roc on New Country, where I'm going to jump in on New Country. Fasten your seatbelts. So, Taz, here's what I'd like to do. So, in my iMovie editor, I have this thing almost done. So, why don't we do a quick test, right? I'm going to share, and let's see what happens if we can pull this off. If not, we'll move on. But the plan is to put up on the new channel the first reaction. But before we do that, you guys are going to see me complete that reaction. It shouldn't take long. So here we go.
So I want to make an announcement before we continue. So as you and I found out earlier, you got a warning from YouTube
a very
regarding our
warning.
regarding our live streams. So we are trying something new. So basically, if we start doing any music video stuff, now live editing is not an issue, but if we decide to play a music video or anything, YouTube's going to go dark. Our YouTube stream will go dark. It will not come back. That's us doing that. That's not YouTube doing that.
Right.
But
right.
we want you guys to continue to watch. Check the community tab for the link. I also posted it. We also posted it a couple of times. It's in the description and post it right now as well. That link takes you to a webinar session through StreamYard, which is the software we use to do this. If you go to that link, you can jump in and see the exact same thing YouTube has. You chat. That's where Deborah and Cindy are. And you can chat via that with no issue. You will get the entire stream, no cutoffs. I just ask that when you come in, you say hi so that we see you. If you can use your same YouTube name, it will help, obviously. So that's the announcement for tonight, and we'll make this announcement a couple of more times through the member streams, obviously.
Thank you, Taz. That was
Yeah.
great. Now, let me know if I'm sharing on the screen, please.
Yep, you are.
Okay, great. So I'm in my editor now, and as you can see, basically this is where obviously I build the reaction. So you have all of your elements here. The intro, all of the different elements that you plug in, and you basically, it's sort of like a film strip, right? And you put them together and they sort of run together, right? So let's see. Okay, this may or may not work. I'm going to try restarting it real quick. Yep, that happens. It's live TV. Let me try that again.
By the way,
okay.
while you're trying to do that, I got a question for you. Earlier, you talked about people that weren't members. You're welcome to listen, but you dared them to join. You double dared them to join. My question to you is, do you double dog dare them to join?
I double dog dare them, and apparently there's some brave people out there. Why don't you guys explore the chat, because they're joining while I get this thing up and running. I won't take too long on it. If it doesn't want to work, then we just won't do it.
Marie says that there's a
this?
Gus's fried chicken in Oakland, but it's not the same vibe. Then Cindy
Not
said,
the same vibe.
You cannot beat Texas barbecue. That's according to Cindy.
Well, that's because she hasn't had my barbecue. Good old Southern Cal barbecue.
That's too funny.
Hey, as long as it's not crock pot barbecue, we're good.
Yeah.
So Benny, so Hillbilly Hippie puts Benny Moten, Bunny Berrigan, Lucky Millard, Millender are some of his favorite big band swing artists.
Lucky Millender? Huh.
Lucky Millender.
I've never heard of that one. I've heard of the Glenn Miller Band. Benny Mountain. Yeah, I think Tommy
yeah.
Yeah.
Amber just popped in. Hey, y'all.
Hey, what's going on, Amber? All right. So, can you hear anything here, Taz? Or no, you can just see, right?
We can see. We can't hear.
Okay.
Ooh, I know what this video
which is fine.
is.
Which is fine. So, this is going to be the first video that's going to go up on the new channel. This is Montgomery Gentry's You Can Be Proud of That. Do I have that right, Taz?
You don't have the title exactly right, but it's
that's why I'm confirming with you, Taz.
It's proud of something.
Yeah, You Can Be Proud of That, I want to say is the name. Yeah, I think it's You Can Be Proud of That. So basically
something to be proud of.
Yeah. Okay.
Something to be proud of.
Okay, so this is almost done. So there's just a few things that I need to do before I post this to the new channel. And that is, and Mr. H, you're going to help me to complete this. You ready, Mr. H?
Sure.
All right. So I want you to open up Genius Lyrics. Genius Lyrics.
Okay.
And I want you to type in, what's the name of this song, Taz?
Something to be proud of.
So would that be genius.com?
Geniuslyrics.com.
No space in Scorpion Taz.
No space?
No space. I took it out.
Okay. Excuse me.
Well, I took it out to make it easier now that I have 2 channels.
Is that correct right there?
That's correct.
Awesome. Folks, we're doing this live. This is me finishing up the editing process. This is the kind of stuff we do. This is the kind of behind the scenes access you get if you're a member. Mr. H, have we found that song?
I did a search.
On Genius Lyrics?
Well, the only one I could find is genius-lyrics.com. Geniuslyrics.com didn't come up, so hold on. Let me try something else here just in case.
Are you spelling it right?
If you Google Genius Lyrics, it should pop right up. So, folks, I am in iMovie. This is my software that I use to put these reaction videos together. And basically, I've done the reaction. The reaction was completed earlier live. I was on live a few hours ago and did a couple of reactions for the new channel live. And so this is me putting the final touches onto the video. So who wrote the song, who produced it, what album it's from, so on and so forth. If you can't find it, H, no worries. I'll bring it up.
Okay, so something to be proud of, Montgomery Gentry.
Right. Genius Lyrics.
Yep. Well, it's genius.com because Genius Lyrics went to GoDaddy saying it's available.
So the song, so it popped up. So so you're at the top of the page, it should tell you what album this song is off of, right? Do you see that?
Let's see.
At the very top, you should see a
Track
picture
one,
of the album cover.
Do your thing, I think it is.
Yeah, what's the name? Say it again.
It's track.
You do
one.
your thing.
Do your thing.
Do your thing.
You do your thing.
You do your thing. Awesome. And what year was that album completed, Mr. H?
2004. Oh, sorry.
All right. So not his, but from there, right? 2004 album.
The struggle is real.
Yes, it is. You do your thing, right?
You do your thing.
You do your thing.
Okay, not with the T, but with the Y. Okay, you do your thing.
And you did spell that right. It's thing, not thang.
Got you. Okay, if you go down to the very bottom of the page to the right, you should see the writer's credits.
Written by Chris Wallen and Jeffrey Steele. Tell you what, let me...
Is that Wallen?
Wallen, yeah.
Wallin. IN, not EN.
Just texted it to you.
Chris Wallen and Jeffrey
Steele.
Steele. Steele.
Written by Chris Wallen and Jeffrey Steele. Awesome. Now,
and Jeffrey's the one that produced it as well.
Okay, Jeffrey Steele produced it? Okay.
Yes.
How's that look?
Good. You want the release date?
No. It was requested by Taz. This reaction was recorded during a live members only hangout. Okay, so we got all that information. We got the intro. So just because I just feel like I need to do this, some people are looking at this and what the hell is all this on the screen? So again, some behind the scenes stuff, and this is stuff that doesn't go live typically. It's behind the scenes stuff. This is what members get to see. So if you look at this down here that I'm scrolling, right? So this is basically your timeline. This is how you build a movie or a reaction, right? So all of this that you see here, let me pull this out just a little bit. So everything you see here are different elements that go into making up the video, obviously, right? So on this top line here, this is just a background that I put in, right? So it's a background element, right? And so down here is the video that I lifted from another video. So you put these two elements together, they get combined, and you get this, right? I know you guys can't hear it. Let me do this so you can at least hear a little bit come.
Yeah, StreamYard's gating your mic, so it's going to be really hard for anyone to hear it.
But if you
And
go
guys,
and save it to your
that reaction was totally improv because he was pretty much done with the live stream and saw me jump in to talk to him after the fact, and we kind of went down this rabbit hole.
PJ, you're on mute. Can you, Taz, can you unmute him?
Their mic is not connected. He lost connection with his mic.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's not good. Because I tried to unmute him and it told me his mic's disconnected. Gotcha. Oh, so as always, on the member tab on DJ's channel, you can get the link to join the conversation live if you wish. And
it was harder time.
Now we can hear it.
That was for mine.
Oh, that was yours. Okay. By the way, like I said, this was totally improvised. He did these on the fly. So, and like I said, if we go to doing any live reactions or start playing around with music videos, the YouTube stream will go dark. Hence why we put the link, the watch link for StreamYard in the chat. It's also in the description. It's also on the community tab. So no excuse for you to not know how to get there. All you do is type in your name and you can join the chat. You can also watch without actually being involved in the chat if you wish. Currently, we have quite a few. We actually have more people watching this than we did have we're watching last night. What gives? Do y'all just not like Friday nights?
Oh, maybe, you know, depending on the weather, it was raining in my area. So, yeah, it looks like what, about 10 people are watching?
We got 16 total.
Oh, from the different
yep.
areas.
16.
Okay.
Can you hear me now?
What's
we
that?
We can hear you.
Okay, sorry about that. You know what?
Oxy.
Let me do this real quick.
We thank all of y'all for watching as well. I mean, this is a great crowd.
1 2 1 2. Can you hear me?
Wait, what was that? Yeah, we can hear you.
Sorry about that.
I hear mumbling.
I can hear
don't-
you guys perfectly. I'm going to try this one more time, and if it doesn't work, we're moving on. I promise you, we're moving on.
I say just render it and post it. We saw what you got.
I'm going to try it one more time. Okay, here we go. One more again.
And yeah, I know I'm drinking energy drinks. I am not drinking my water, which I know, bad Taz, but I need an energy drink.
Okay, 1 second here. Again, folks, technical difficulties, it happens. Thank you for your patience. We're going to get this to work. I promise you. If not, I'm tossing this computer out my window. H, you can still hear me, right?
Yes.
Right? Okay. Don't be delayed.
Hoxie. No.
Stop it.
We can hear you.
That's our safe word. Hoxie. What was that movie, H, we were talking about the other night where they needed a safe word and you know. I forget.
I don't know about a movie. I know this one comedian did a skit where it was the guy was talking about how he met some woman and she's like, I got a safe word and stuff, and go ahead and choke me. And so he's choking her, and when she tries to do the safe word, it's coming out. He goes, well, no, that's not the safe word. Get a little closer.
Hard to talk when you're being choked.
I wouldn't know.
Oh my God. Okay, folks. So again, really quick lesson here. Okay. When you look at this thing, it may look complicated for those of you who don't do this stuff, but there's nothing complicated about this at all. I could teach you this in like 10 minutes. Seriously. If I can learn it, trust me, anybody can. So the title is an element. And right in here, I can select different title styles. And I basically just pull it out and put it right on top, right? So there's a title there. There's a background there, right? So as I pull this, you may hear some sound. So this right here is the element that's on the screen, the words and stuff. The next layer down is the background, and the next layer is the video and sound together. Okay. Now, right in here is a transition. This little squiggly thing right here, that's a transition. And again, there are a variety of types of different transitions. Those of you that watch my videos all the time, you see me experiment with different transitions. In this case, this transition is sort of like a flip page thing, right? And then here's just another element that I added to remind people to join the channel. And there's the join, the little join icon there, right? So that's what's going on there. And all of the elements are playing together. That's what we want to happen. And then we come over to some information that we want to pass on, right? This reaction was recorded during a live members only hangout. We did it earlier today. Then, of course, it runs into the logo. So here's something we're going to do. Right now, as it stands, we are doing membership live reactions. So I have some music here, but in the rest of this, you don't hear the familiar music because I've cut and pasted some stuff. And that's why you don't hear it. So I need to put some music in to finish this thing out. So I'm going to go up here to my audio and video stuff, and I'll select, again, there's a bunch of different music here. I'll select my regular music theme, and I'll just bring it in here and drop it right there. It's that simple, right?
And again,
So-
again, folks, this is his behind the scenes of how he creates these reaction videos.
Absolutely. That's what a co-host is supposed to do. Provide color commentary. That's what I'm talking about, Mr. Rage, that color commentary. So we have these elements. We have the music here, but we didn't have the music down here. So watch what happens now. Transition, and then the music starts again, just like we want it to. This element here, we could move it anywhere, right? But obviously it makes sense to start it right here like so. Okay, now watch this. I'm going to remove this transition, which is the paper turn, and we'll put in a different transition real quick. I sometimes like to use this film strip transition. So all you do is you drag it in, put it where you want it, and then you get this. Watch me do live reactions.
Nice. Okay, I see the transition.
And this
I would
zoom
love to have
feature,
that on mine.
this
You have
zoom
that?
feature, this zoom feature is pretty easy to achieve, right? So check this out. So we're going to go transition, and it starts out on the join. Now let me show you how you do that in iMovie, right? So I'm going to select, and you always select what part you want to work on. When you see the yellow, it's active, right? Then I'm going to go up here to this little guy right here.
The cropping,
Right?
yeah.
Yep. And so what I'm using right now to get that zooming effect that I use a lot is called a Ken Burns effect, because Ken Burns came up with it in his documentary. So the idea of having a still picture but providing some motion. So what I'm going to do is to remove what I have on here right now. Right? So now it's just normal. Kind of boring, right? But I want the focus and the emphasis to be on the join part. So we're going to highlight that film strip and go into the Ken Burns effect. Really simple stuff. You have two boxes. I don't know if you can see them, but you have one that says end and one here that says start. You see that? Start and end. So I'm telling my program to start. I want you to zoom in on join. Obviously, that's where I want the attention to start, right? So we're going to get it nice, and there we go. Bring that up a little bit, bring this down, right? And so it's going to start there. I could start it at any point on this page. And then to end it, basically we want it to just pull out to the rest of this. We hit enter, and then we have reactions.
Do you want to go?
I got that flow. Any questions, Tazz?
No, like I said, I just wish I had that film strip transition for my videos.
Yeah.
The software I use doesn't have it, although I'm trying to get Premiere Studios isn't my new one.
Yeah, I am at the point where iMovie is kind of an entry level consumer based. It's a really powerful tool, but it's sort of entry level, and it's really all that I need for what I'm doing. There are other advanced ones out there, but I'm going to stick with this for now. So we got those elements in. I think let's continue the flow here. Okay, I think that comes in okay, but I may want to try some kind of transition there between those two elements. Sometimes I go crazy and I use too many transitions and it drives people crazy, right? But just to show you guys just a couple of different options that I have here. So I could use an open circle, drop it in there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yep.
We could do
Yeah.
that. What do you think about the open circle there?
Maybe try that
Um,
mosaic.
You want a mosaic? Okay, let's do that. Let's get rid of that one. We'll pull the mosaic in. Here's what we got.
As soon as it figures it out.
Yeah, for this,
Didn't
that won't work, which is why you really got to be, what really will work here, what at least for my taste,
your film
is
strip would work perfect there too.
it's to keep it really simple. And what I'll do is plug in a 2-strip film strip right here. What do we have? Right? So we can do that, or we can just do the one. And obviously, this is all feel. And, you know, when it feels right, it feels right.
Yeah, the one works pretty well.
So this element here, right? This has sound, right? But I didn't like this. I downloaded this from YouTube. It was a non-licensed little movie. It did come with sound. Let me demonstrate that to you. I'll pull the sound down here so that we
I
have
was gonna say because
silence.
you do have the bell part of that.
Right. So partially. So let me show you what I did. So if I do this, there's no sound because my sound element is down here. Remember, we're building layers, right? So I could turn the sound up here, right? On this element.
Don't blast us out now.
So it's like it's like an onion. You have many layers.
Right. Exactly. Well said, Mr. H. But again, I didn't like that. That doesn't fit what I'm doing. So basically, say again.
I said no, it doesn't.
No.
Your music behind it works much better.
Much better, which is why I made that decision. So what I could either detach this sound and just completely get rid of it, or I could just simply pull the volume down to 0.
Right.
I put in my own sound. I'll bring this back up to 100. About right. Between 89 and 100 is what works best for me. And then you see the difference. I could put a transition in here, but again, I don't want to get too crazy.
No.
Okay. What's that other sound I'm hearing?
That's H.
Okay. All right. So, but
He's messing with you.
I
You know
did
what?
leave.
Taz, we're gonna have words turning me in like that. No loyalty. No
Yeah, I
loyalty.
just throw you right under the bus, don't I?
He's
Oh,
a
man.
rat.
Act
He's
up.
a rat.
Act up.
So I wanted to keep the bell sound obviously here. So as you can see, the volume is not turned down in that section. Here's the neat thing about these editing tools, right? So let me show you something. So if I do this, I get the bell sound, right? Because I left the volume in. I could totally delete this part, right? And like a centipede, all I need to do is to pull it back out and it's still there, right? It doesn't go away. So
Right.
I'll show you how that was done very easily. Let me pull this back up just a little bit so I can hear when the sound comes in for the bell. So right about here where that yellow mark is, right there. So I'm going to split the film strip and then turn it down over here. So this is completely silent, right?
Yeah.
And of course, I got to cut this off so it doesn't show anything that I don't want in the video. So we're going to stop it about right there, right? And then delete that. And here's what we got. Okay. Then we come on over to my logo, which I usually have. And again, this right here, I just made out of PowerPoint. On the Mac computer, it's called Keynote. Yeah, Keynote. And it's just a very simple green background, my favorite color, the color of the channel. And so just plugged in an element there, film strip. Then we have who it's requested by, the producer. I hope H gave me the right information on that. The writers from their album. And then I need to find the album cover. So for album art, I find like going to Amazon, and please tell me, Taz, if I'm still sharing when I do this.
Yep, you are.
Okay, great. So I'm going to open up my browser. Maybe.
Yeah, I would agree that Amazon's probably the easiest place.
Okay, so we'll do this. We'll go Amazon album. What's the name of the album again?
Do your own thing. You do your own thing. Might want to put the gummy entry in there.
Okay,
There you
so
go.
I think we got it here. Let's see. And I find that Amazon, they usually have really good, what do you call it? Graphics, right? And you get,
Yeah.
you get this blown up version right here. And this is typically where I go to get my stuff, right?
Oh, okay.
So then I'm just going to put it into this folder for now, edition 9.
And by the way,
that.
folks, PJ is going to be downloading this broadcast today and then turning it into how-to video to be on his new channel, How To with DJ Pj-roc.
You better believe it. There's Mr. H providing excellent color commentary. So now I'm going to go to that folder that I just put it into. Okay, why are you not showing up? Let's see what happened here. Maybe it didn't go in. Let's see. Let's try that again. Okay. Let's come back over here. Let's close this. Let's do it again. So I want to download. This is how you get other elements into your editor, right? So as you guys know, here, when I do this part, right, I usually put in the album cover here. And it's this simple, right? You just drop it right into place, right? We'll fix that. And once again, I like to use, and so any element that you drop in here, you can make it as long or as short as you want to, right? It'll stretch to infinity. So this picture, I need enough to sort of give it that effect, right? So usually I go back up to my Ken Burns effect. And this is where you can get a little creative, right? Usually I like to zero in on faces, but since this is pretty abstract, what I'll do is I'll just put my start box down at the bottom, like so, right? I'll capture their logo. Little bit more there, right? All right, so we got that. Kind of center it. See, it even lines it up for you. So that's where things are going to get started for this effect, right? And then we go to our end, and I could just move it up here, and it'll end exactly where I want it to end, right? You just have to position it. So we like that. We're going to go there, and then let's see what this looks like. Stretch it out a little bit more, because now what we want to do at about this point, once their full logo is in full sight, what I'm going to do, because I'm going to now put a different element in between these two, right? So I'm going to go back up to my transitions and use this cross dissolve, right? Bring it down, put it in between, and this is what we get. But we want this to now be the full picture. So we get this effect.
Nice.
Right? And we're going to shorten that just a bit. It doesn't need to go on forever. All right, so that's that. So we have all of the introductory elements into the video. So we got, obviously, whatever message I want to put in the beginning. I put a background in, some text, right? And so now we're done with all those elements. We want to now get into the actual reaction, which I did earlier today live. So let's see what we got here. Let me do this. But we don't want to just boom, go right into it, right? We got to have some kind of transition effect.
Gotta have that film transition.
Yeah. So we're going to do a not too crazy. Let's go with the one film strip here.
Yeah, stick with what works.
Right. And when you're doing this, well, at least for me, I don't know, self-taught here. It's always going back and viewing things from, and then looking forward and going back to get a really
I do that. I'd have to do that too. Anytime I put a cut or any kind of transition or edit into something, I always go back a few seconds and watch
absolutely.
the transition happen.
Mm-hmm. It makes sense to do it a few times.
Every time. Do it once.
I mean, PJ. So when I was editing the video, the interview I did with you that dropped yesterday, that took me much longer than some of the others because there were some edits I had to do, and I had to make sure they flowed correctly, and I had to make sure I didn't cut off your words or my words, so that and it's much harder when you're dealing with spoken word, as you know from doing your intros and retakes and stuff like that. It's delicate because you have to, if you realize that you made a mistake, you have to put a pause in, then re-say it, and then line that up perfectly. And so that's one thing that I've learned with spoken word that I've had to really be accurate on.
Yeah. Plus, the good thing here is with this kind of stuff. I mean, once you learn it, there's a lot of workarounds. Like, see this button, see this icon right here, that microphone,
Yeah.
right? You see that? So at any point, I can do.
You can
I can
ad lib
do right. Absolutely. I hit it, and then I talk into the microphone and place it wherever I need to place it. So let's see what these transitions look like together. Okay, obviously, we can't have the music going on into into the
Right.
reaction, right? So what we're gonna do is, and this is pretty typical with any type of editing software that you're gonna use, we can actually splice. In the olden days, they would either use scissors or some kind of a machine to cut
Oh
film,
yeah.
right? So
I've
this is what,
seen documentaries on how they used to have to do loops
yeah,
before digital, and take a 4 bar take 4 bars of a song and loop it. You literally have to basically you're copying it. You play it, take take what you played, copy it, take and splice that out, tape it to the original, then you play that and splice it. It was a nightmare, and there's a few songs that I know about that actually had a 4 bar loop back in the 70s. The Pina Colada song it's called Escape, the Pina Colada songs. If you listen to that, it's a 4 bar loop. And they did it in the 70s before any digital technology. The story of that was amazing.
yeah, a lot easier now. So let's see what we got here. We got our element there, and now, so what we want to do here is we want this music, right? Our intro music to transition softly and smoothly into the reaction. We don't want like a hard break, right? So what you can do in
Right.
these editing tools is actually a fade. So when I pull this, right? What it's doing is it's gradually going to take the volume down, right? So watch this. So that was a little too close. So what we'll do is we'll bring it to about right here, just a little bit before. Let's try that again. Perfect. Perfect. So we'll pull it just a little tad more. Perfect. That's a nice.
That was like, yeah, that was
Perfect timing, right? Okay.
Yeah.
So here, first of all, tell me, do we still have people watching?
Yeah, we still have people watching.
All right. I just want to make sure we haven't lost anybody or put anybody to sleep.
About
Guys,
8 or 9.
we're behind the scenes. This is kind of the stuff that our membership, we sit around and talk about all kinds of stuff. And sometimes we do behind the scenes stuff. This is how I put these things together, right? So we're almost done. So here, Taz, we got a little bit of fixing to do. Let me explain. So we got this going good. Earlier today, when I did this live, the video quality was not the best, or
Right.
since we did it live, it was a little bit jittery and in some places out of focus. So what I had to do was I had to download another copy of the actual video, right? So what you're seeing here on the screen is basically, I'll show you. So if I were to do this, so, and again, this is all in layers. The top layer, right? You have the bottom layer, and then you have, this is where the actual music is to the video. I've separated them because you can work with the different elements easier once they're separated. That's, you don't care about that. So take a look at this. If you look closely, H, you can see down in here something's off, right?
Right.
And what that is I try to cover up the old video that wasn't as focused with a new layer, and I didn't get it correctly covered.
Perfect.
So we're going to fix that right now, right? I mean, people probably wouldn't notice that, but maybe they would. So what we'll do is we'll highlight the area we want to work with, and check this out. So here's the new layer that I've superimposed
Right.
over this. And so what we need to do is to make sure, same video, again, it's just a better quality video than the one that we used for the actual reaction. So nothing changes except for the quality of the video.
And I take responsibility for that because I was showing an SD version instead of a high def version.
Well, shame on you, Tazz. Are you trying to sabotage me?
I know. Normally, I normally make sure I'm showing the highest quality I can do, but as you said earlier today, what gets recorded here with StreamYard is a little tinny on the music, so downloading it is always a better option, anyways.
Absolutely. So what I did was, so I got a better copy of the video, right, to cover up the original copy, which wasn't very good. I mean, you could do so many tricks with the software. And what I did was I separated out the music element from the video. Usually on these videos, they're combined. But to give me more flexibility, I separated it out. Okay, so let's see what we have here. Okay, it's still not perfect because right up in here, I don't know if you see it, H, but you can see the other video. Well, I can see it. It's kind of
trim at the top and a
right
speck on the
kind
bottom.
Of peeking through just a little. And I may have to live with that, but let's see if we can fix that. There's something else I can do, but that would take way too friggin' long. Okay, so we may have to, I guarantee you nobody will notice, but
you notice.
Exactly. Okay, let's do this.
Yeah, this is one thing I love with my software. I love that I can use arrow keys and it moves it pixel by pixel.
Oh, nice.
I don't know if iMovie lets you do that or not, but it is a nice feature with the software I have.
If it does, I haven't explored that yet.
Now, just a quick observation. Might want to see about just moving that over just a hair or lining it up on the right hand side, and then on the left hand side you could always add a little bit of black for the letter boxes on the top and bottom. That might be how you best could do that.
Yeah.
But
we're almost
like you said,
there.
that takes more time.
No, we're almost there.
So So Nicole is saying YouTube did not send out a notification when we went live. I did get the notification, but some people are not. That is a YouTube thing.
Yeah.
And the best thing I can say on that is double check on the bell to make sure you're subscribed to all notifications, not just personalized. I've found that usually fixes it, but if you still have issues, let us know and we can get in touch with YouTube. But I thank you all for those on StreamYard and those still on YouTube. I thank you all for being here.
I think we got that resolved. Okay.
Looks
So
like
here
it.
we go. Let's see what we got.
There's a story that my daddy tells religiously. Like clockwork every time he sees a broken man in a conversation. That's the way things used to
Okay. So what's
I like
going
how you
on
did
here?
that.
Say again?
I actually like how you did that
Yeah, check this out. So
because you clipped it. Yeah, I see what it did.
yeah. So the beauty of these programs is, again, there's layers, right? So let me show you an example of what I'm talking about layering. So let's say for bleeps and giggles, I wanted to add some text, a text feature here, right? So I just want to demonstrate layering real quick, right? So I could come up here to titles and I could select a title or some text, right? And you basically just drag it down. And there's your text, right? And so you so again, this is yet another layer and everything comes together, right? So I put the text element here. I can make it however long I want to, etc., right? So the same thing with the 3 different layers. I could get funky and put different music down here and mismatch the video, right? You can do all kinds of stuff.
Right.
So it's like making a cake, basically, right? Different elements. Okay. So we're almost done here. I just want to make sure this is lined up correctly. So we got this going on.
Yeah, it looks like there's a little bit of a misalignment, but
Yeah, but nothing that's really noticeable.
right.
Now here's where the second layer comes in. You'll see a change.
Yeah, that makes sense how you did that.
Yeah.
You basically what you're doing is zooming into it to make it fit that 16:9 box,
Right.
but making it full screen because this video was shot in 21:9.
Yeah, it
It was
was.
shot in 21:9, which is theatrical.
So
So
basically,
16:9 doesn't quite fit.
right. And again, I like to give, so I could keep it like one picture the same, but I like to break it up just like this. So boom, right?
Right.
Okay. So that looks pretty good. And then, okay, now what we're going to do is speed things up a bit because I know this is lined up pretty well. So I'm just going to skim through it real quick, right? Until it changes. So I'm going to go right here. Let's see what we got.
I love how when he says tears fall down, there's raindrops or teardrops hitting the screen.
Right.
Love that effect.
Yeah. So we widened out
And
there.
to know this whole video was shot on a green screen is
Oh, absolutely.
they
Yeah.
did a phenomenal job.
Yeah. There's no landscape like that in the world where they're standing. Well, maybe there is. Okay. So I'm pretty sure we got things lined up as far as covering up the original layer of video that wasn't as clean.
Right.
So now let's see where we are in our process. Okay, so what I did here was I spliced in the video, right? So it's the same video, but I wanted for effect to take me out of the screen
Go
and
full
just
screen.
kind of let this flow, right? So we get this. It's wide. And I purposefully in here kind of slowed it down just a bit, freeze it just a bit there, just for effect.
Right. Restart the video, loop the video.
And I call that my turn, right? The loop. So
Yeah.
that's my term for it. So that's when the video starts over. And it should be, it's not always a seamless loop, but it should be, right? It should fit perfectly. And you shouldn't go, hey, what just happened?
It should be interesting to see if YouTube will still flag it and say, wait a minute, copyright infringements, especially since you're changing the video itself. You know, as far as zooming in when the video
There's
doesn't
enough of it that he hasn't. It's 8 seconds. So every 8 seconds that's checked. If it's been altered, like if he's altered it, it won't flag. But if you go more than 8 seconds without altering anything, which he's done, then it flags it.
So I forgot about that. I wasn't even thinking about that. Okay. So anyway, seamless right here, the turnaround, right? The video starts over. Okay, so we got that happening. And then what do we do here? Okay, so I also like to use voiceovers in my videos, as you guys know. And so when you look here, you can see that I've inserted a voiceover element here. And basically, you just attach it to the video like I did here. Oh, yes, finding fulfillment and pride in life's simple moments and achievements. Okay, so
what's nice about that is you can lower the volume of the music in the background. So
absolutely.
You come across a lot clearer.
Absolutely, and that's what we've done here. So, we're going to even lower it just a little bit more. Going to bring it down to about the volume to about. Let's see what 13 does. Oh yes, finding fulfillment and pride. Perfect. I think that's perfect. All of this is done, and then. Of course, I let the video play some more. As you can see, I put another element in right here, another transition. Right? And then we're going to end this thing off with some more narration here. How about those visuals?
I like how you leave the music playing, the video playing, and actually use the green to your advantage because you can pull it out almost like a green screen effect. You've pulled it out and have the video playing behind you,
Absolutely.
which I love. I love that
Mhm.
effect.
And again, you can achieve that because of this layering effect as well, right? And so
Yeah.
How about those visuals? How about those freaking visuals? Love the story here.
okay. And then we're going to end this thing out. My last words here.
Actually, really enjoy that.
Wait a minute. Something's off here.
Really enjoy.
Okay. So as you can see, and tell me if you catch this, H. Tell me if you see what's wrong here, if you hear what's wrong.
Actually, really enjoy that. When you're young,
Hard to hear it, honestly.
Well, really? Okay. So what the problem is here is this right here should have started a little bit closer because there's a gap in the music.
really enjoy that.
Yeah, it needs to be brought out just a little bit closer to, so the other music is up here and we
Right.
separated, right? So it needs to be, let me see.
When you're young, you're not so receptive.
That's better.
When you're young,
That's a little bit better, yeah.
really. When you're young, you're not so receptive.
So these two should almost line up with the one on top, and that line helps me do that right there.
When
Right.
you're young,
So there's not a huge gap in the music. And then I just need to slide these down. And what I'll do to make sure that, so this gives you an idea of this bottom layer, right?
when you're young, you're not so receptive because somebody is beating it into you relentlessly. But then you appreciate.
So I can move the sound around, right?
Relentlessly. But then you appreciate. Absolutely.
You can put it as close, or for effect, you can space it and you get this
But then you
effect.
appreciate the value
Those
of those.
dramatic pauses.
Say again?
Dramatic pausing. Yeah.
Right.
It's a very good technique.
Appreciate the value.
Okay. Then I'm just going to line this up and then we'll come out of here. Right. Now, Taz, whenever you see on these audio strips your sound going into red right up here, that's a bad
Yeah,
thing.
it's
That's-
clipping.
right. So we want to make sure we bring that down a bit. It can be yellow. That's okay, but red's not good. Let's see.
Diversity. Not everybody.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, I've kind of learned if I see red, but I feel that the volume, that lowering the overall volume doesn't work, I'll clip the just the red part out and
Yeah.
then lower
Lower it.
it down, but
Yeah.
leave everything else the same.
Yeah. We'll just line these up so we don't have any crazy pauses. So I don't know if you guys can hear this, but so this is a good time to show this example. So right here, there's too much of a pause between the dialogue. So let me see if you can hear this. So what I want to do is take out this space in here. And then bring this in, bring this in. This is what you were talking about, Taz. When you have that red, you go in, you split it there, you split it here, and then you could bring the volume down on just that part. And that's one way to do it. But if you have overall good volume and it's loud enough, you
Right.
can just bring the whole thing down. Let's see what we got.
Yeah.
Hard work, dedication.
I tend to my volume tends to fluctuate when I talk on mic, as you probably well know. So I tend to have to play with my audio track quite a bit when I'm editing my interview videos.
People, but deep.
Okay. I think, let's see.
And pride is found in love and family.
Okay. Let's bring this back up. Around 13. And then, since we're done with the dialogue there, we're going to clip this. We're going to split it, right? And now bring the volume up because there's no more talking or dialogue from me. So now we want you to hear the full volume here. We'll put this to about between 89 and 100. That looks good.
Said, let me tell you right now. Said, let me tell you right now.
Okay. And then, so we play out the rest of the video.
You gotta have to review and follow and pursue what motivates you when your dreams are. My dad's dreams are not necessarily my dreams. I may have other aspirations. Brilliantly written song. Really enjoyed it. Montgomery Gentry.
And of course, here, towards the end of the video, you know, where the YouTube stuff comes on, watch this video next or whatever. I like to cut that out and then put my own picture in towards the end. That's why you see me sometimes do stuff like this. I'll cut it out right when that comes in from YouTube. And so you get this instead.
Montgomery Gentry.
Right? And I think I want to put on these guys a little bit more of an effect. So I like faces. So let's kind of start up here, right? And then we'll end like so. Like so.
That looks good.
And then we'll do this. And
PJ,
here,
I'll be right back.
okay. And then here's what we got.
Gentry.
Right? And that's how we end out. Towards the
Guys,
end.
as you can see, this takes a lot. These videos take a lot of time and effort.
Yeah.
And when you guys comment and and not just on PJ's videos, but anyone's videos you watch, realize that they do take time and effort to make. I mean, it's not just as simple as turning a camera on and pulling up YouTube video to react to. There's time and effort put into this. There's production time. And as you can see, it's not an easy task. So take the time, like the videos, and make those comments worthwhile. I see so many times that I'll see the comments first, second, third. Those don't matter, because it doesn't matter if you watched it first or if you're the first watcher or the 1,000th watcher. We want to know what you think. We want to know your thoughts on the video, on the song maybe, or on the content of the video, because that helps us improve our quality, our effort to put out videos you like. So, you know, commenting on videos is so important. The likes are important. And I can't stress it enough. This is a job for most of us. even if it's a side job or a hobby, it's still work. So it we appreciate everyone that comes to these lives, and we appreciate everyone that comments on videos, because it helps. It really does.
Yeah. On this channel, these guys do a wonderful job in the comments. And as you guys know, I try to respond to all of the comments. Most comments will get an acknowledgement, we'll get a thumbs up, and we'll get a like. I appreciate the commentary. Keep them coming. So here's the deal, if there's still anybody here with us. So basically, we've completed the reaction video. I will say this, and piggybacking on what you said, Taz, most reactors, so everybody has their own process, right? Most reactors do simple reactions, right? It's pretty basic. They have a camera that they have mounted on a tripod, and they're watching it either on their phone or their laptop, and then they splice it together, which is completely fine. My
But it
videos,
still worked to splice it together.
I'm sorry?
It still worked to splice that together.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, everybody has their own, approach. I just take a different approach. I like to put different elements, pictures, and just different things in mind. It's a bit more labor intensive, but that's my signature. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So thank you for that, Taz. So right now, there's one more thing that we want to do here in this program that I use. It does, I'm going to select all, which selects everything here. And what it does, it will automatically do the leveling of the sound, or will improve the sound. And that's what it's doing now. So sometimes, if you don't do this, parts of the video will come out too low, parts, it just won't be balanced.
It roller
And
coasters.
right. And supposedly, this feature helps to kind of balance out the loudness. And we'll see. I think it works. And after I do that,
I will say when iTunes originally came out, it was the only option, and that was one feature that I loved about iTunes, was you could have 200 tracks, and one be whisper quiet and one be so loud you had to turn your volume down to 1 to listen to it. iTunes would do the same thing. It would level your playlist down, and that's the technology they're using here in iMovie. They use it in GarageBand as well. They use it in the upgrade to iMovie. So Apple, I will say, Apple has been on that technology for a long time of leveling audio to where it's not roller coasting. And I wish YouTube did that, because I use YouTube Music, and one song can be super quiet. One song will blow your ears out on the exact same volume. So this is a good feature to have.
Yeah, it absolutely is. And after it's done, I go back and kind of listen to a little bit of the audio just to make sure that it did what it was supposed to do and I'm not too loud. So I find some dialogue. I mean, some of my voiceover here. Let me see. Where did I put it? It's not okay. It's way down here. Just want to make sure that it's good to go. So bear with me here. Where is it? Where is it? It's down here somewhere. Yep, here we go. So. Oh, yes, finding fulfillment and pride in life's simple moments. and achievements. Walking to school barefooted in the snow, uphill. Okay, I like it. So once you're done, and I think, go ahead, Tess.
No, I accidentally hit my mic.
Oh, I'm so okay. So what we're gonna do now is, so we're done with our editing of this video. We are going to, oh, there's one thing I want to do before we do that. I want to make sure it is in 1080p, and it is. That's pretty much the best video quality that I can get out of this software. So I want to make sure it's set to that, and it was 1080p. And so we're going to go up to,
And from experience, I kind of went down a bad track when I did the first 4 interviews for my channel. I rendered them all in 4K. No other after these 4, there's not going to be any 4K videos coming from me. Those things take almost 2 hours to render.
yeah.
And then once YouTube gets them, they take another 2 hours to process. So yeah, I'll stick with 1080.
That's a long time. So I need to name the video now so I can find it. So Montgomery, I believe. What's the next part of the name? Montgomery
Gentry.
All right, Montgomery Gentry complete. I'm going to save it to my external hard drive. And so it's processing it. While that's happening, I'll come back over here and I'll stop sharing.
Yep.
And I want
I was going to say I can just remove it.
Okay. So
let's do a live check. I want to do a live check of if we've gotten any more members. So I'm going to refresh this. Nope, still sitting at 7. Come on, guys.
there should be at least 9. Hey, Mike Savage is in the building. They bought their turkey today. That's awesome. Lori lives outside of Lufkin. There's apparently been some Sherman, Texas. I know where Sherman, Texas is. Mike Savage, you might. There's some gems out. I'm sure there's some modern gems out there that you can get into. Savage, please subscribe to my new channel. Lori's in East Texas. Let's see. Is there anybody on here that we have not acknowledged?
So I want
Lori
to point something out here. Sorry, I want to point something out here. So as you can see on Savages, there's a little YouTube play button, right? So he's watching and commenting on YouTube.
Cool.
If I come down and put Nicole's message up, you notice that there's no little play button. She's watching us on StreamYard, which thank you for doing that.
Very cool. Very cool. I need to listen to Montgomery Gentry singing Gone.
Breakup song.
Okay. Amber chimed in with something to be proud of when I was asking the name of the song. Okay. I think we've acknowledged everybody in the chat. Let me check and see if our video is, nope, we're still working on that. So Anessa is in the building. Hey, Nicole, this is Nicole's friend that Nicole told about the channel. I think she's a channel member now. Hey, Anessa, thank you for coming in. I want to say she's in West Virginia.
Yeah, she's a subscriber, not a member.
Awesome. H, I just saw there was a question from you up on the screen. What were you asking? How does what work?
Well, he was talking about the play button, and I'm asking, so how does that work? And then my next question's, sometimes it shows and other times it doesn't.
Ah, so he was answering that. Gotcha.
But I was wondering if it's because, and it did show anyway, because I showed it. I typed it in StreamYard on one and YouTube on the other.
Yep.
I was
Yep.
just seeing if it was still going to show it.
Yep. It shows where you're coming from. Awesome.
It shows where you're coming from, but the chats are separate.
Yes.
So
yes.
that's why having this feature of us putting it on screen is so useful.
Very cool. I want to
We see all the chat, but YouTube only sees YouTube chat. StreamYard only sees StreamYard chat.
Yes. So, H, was any of that useful at all, or was it just a big waste of time?
It was a big waste of not waste of time. I actually learned something. That's why, I joked around, but this, I'm telling you should download this, edit it, and put it on a how-to video, post it to YouTube on editing your stuff. I mean, I thought it was informative.
Yeah. Well, I'm very curious, like a lot of people are, as to how things are done. And remember, you and I started using this software at the same time, right? And we're pretty much self-taught. I mean, anybody can teach themselves on it. It's just a matter of interest, if you're interested in it or not.
But you're way ahead of me than I am.
Well, I use it a lot more than you do. And I don't have anybody to call to, you know what I mean? I go to YouTube and I look for, I've watched tutorials, a couple of tutorials and stuff like that, which have been very, very helpful. What did you think, Tazz?
I'm jealous because my software cost and can't do half of that stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, you think about it. The countdown you guys see every live show that we use, those I made. Similar to what PJ did, I recorded a countdown off YouTube, stripped out the music, put in some elements. I've been kind of playing around with that. The members only element for this stream that you guys saw, that's layering effect. And that's also me spending a lot of time in using GIMP to get images with transparent backgrounds so that I can use those as overlays. So yeah, it makes me jealous because you have more transitions and you have things that I can't do on a PC. But like I said, hopefully in the near future, I'm upgrading to Adobe's video editing software, and we'll have more of that pro level stuff that Apple gives you on the consumer level side.
All right. So at some point, Tazz, what we're going to do is we're going to turn the YouTube feed off, because what I'd like to do is to upload the video once it's done doing its thing. We won't do it just yet, but right before we're ready to upload, because what we'll do is after all that work, we want to see the finished product, the full finished product, right?
Right.
So after it's downloaded, I'll start sharing again and show how I take it from my computer onto YouTube. So how does a video get onto YouTube? We'll put it up. And then after it's on there, we've placed the first video on my new channel. Then we'll drop YouTube. We'll make sure everybody who wants to switch over with us gets the StreamYard link so they can follow along. As a matter of fact, I think we should just go ahead and put out that link again now. So in a few minutes, guys, those of you that are watching on YouTube only, because we want to see the full finished product, the full finished video on the channel, we are going to drop the YouTube feed and go exclusively to StreamYard, where we're not going to get a copyright strike. So just know that. And it is on the screen right now. You can copy and paste that into your browser, so you don't miss anything. Right, Mr. H?
Absolutely.
I thought you were going to
And
say.
you can watch. And you can. Sorry, go ahead, PJ.
No, it's okay. No, go ahead. Go ahead, Tazz.
You don't have to join chat on StreamYard if you don't wish, but we would love if you did.
Yep. The more the merrier. You know what I say. I think that's the swingers motto. H knows all about that. The more the merrier.
So I'm showing we only have 2 watching on YouTube. One of them, obviously,
Is H.
that's probably H and I.
Could be. And I don't know that we've gained any. Well, I did get 1 membership out of this, right?
We got 1 membership today when we were
1 membership out of
on
this, right?
earlier. Yes.
I'm gonna go look on YouTube and see if anything's changed in the membership portal. You know, it shows the list of members, and so I'm gonna check that out right now.
And also, you guys, this is not just us 3 talking. You're invited to the conversation. Members, remember to go to the member tab to get the link to join. It is a different link than the watch link.
So the members here should already be watching us in StreamYard, right? Like Nicole,
Right.
If you're watching on YouTube, you're going to need to use that link that we'll have on the screen.
Nicole's in StreamYard.
Oh,
yeah,
okay, good.
I'm showing Lori, Nicole, H, Cindy, myself. Those are who Tim is in StreamYard.
Okay,
So
great.
yeah, I'm showing pretty much everybody in StreamYard that would normally be here. But we
Beautiful.
extend that to anybody tonight because we're wanting you guys to share what we do here in the member streams and help and encourage others to join as a member.
So I'm looking to see if we got any new. Let's see.
And for those of you that weren't here when PJ dared people, he's daring you to join and subscribe. He's double daring you. He double dog dares you.
Double dog dare you. I mean, some of the stuff that Mr. H shares, I mean, I can't describe. You'll just have to be here. And that's why you should
There's
join.
no filter.
That's absolutely why you should join.
There's definitely no filter.
We are. Okay, so I'm going to share again because I think my video is ready. So give me a second here, guys. I'm going to present. So basically, you've seen me edit the video for the most part. And now, how do we get it from the computer to YouTube? So you're looking at my my iMovie.
Not
H,
yet.
can you see that? Not yet. Okay.
Now we got
Okay,
it.
great. So awesome. So if you look up here at this little timer, as you can see, it's almost done. It has just
Timer
one.
blocked by your logo,
Say, oh, okay. So it's hidden. Got you. Okay.
hidden by the Pj-roc.
So it's almost done. Yeah, we can remove that. it's not so important. It's just a little countdown thing that tells you when the video has been processed. So basically, everything that we've put in into the editor needs to be compressed and put together as one complete package. So the software is going to do its thing. It'll let me know when it's ready, which I should get a little notification here momentarily, which you will see on the screen. Hopefully, don't make me a liar. Sometimes, sometimes the process fails for whatever reason. I haven't had a failure in some time, so
You do. You definitely do.
So, have you ever had that happen, H?
When uploading to YouTube?
Yeah, you process your no. So when you're trying to export it, so like this part in the process, so I'm done. I've exported it, and I don't know, maybe every 50 videos or so, it'll say process failure. Have you seen that?
I haven't yet because I haven't gotten to my 50th video yet.
My software typically will crash on me almost every other video.
Wow.
And it's usually when I'm editing the video is when it crashes, not when it exports.
Wow.
But then again, I'm exporting to, so my video software is on a solid state. I'm exporting to a different solid state. So it tends to go fast as long as I'm not doing 4K.
So I don't have that message yet. So I'm going to go ahead on over to, I'm going to assume everything is good and it's going to happen. And I'm going to go over to, look at that, Mr. H. Your video, the one that you requested, is now #1 right now with 239 views since yesterday. That's not bad.
Oh, nice.
So here is the next step. So I am in the part of, say again?
Gotta switch to the new channel because we're putting it on the new channel.
Yep. I'm getting there. So I'm on, I'm on the part of YouTube where, it's the inner workings, right? So now I'm on the Pj-roc's channel, and I'm going to go up here and switch accounts and go to the new channel, PJ on New Country. Going to bring that up. Take your time, computer. There we go.
It's working hard in the background.
I know. 7 whole subscribers. Look at that. Then we're going to go to create, upload videos.
When you first started tonight, you only had 4.
Hey, listen, I am not complaining.
Hopefully,
I'm not complaining. So let's see if this thing actually got done. I'll go to my external hard drive, and I'm going to search for Montgomery finished video, whatever I called it. Let's see. Here are the M's. There we go. Montgomery complete. Right? So there's the video. 1.3 gigabytes, which doesn't mean anything to anybody. And we are going to, this is a big deal, guys. This is a huge deal. This is the first video that I'm uploading to this new country channel, which you guys all had a hand in helping me edit. At least you cheered me on.
You're part of the process.
That's right. So then we have to give it a title. So the name of the song again?
Something to be proud of.
Something to be proud of.
See, folks, you're here live watching it happening.
Absolutely.
It's live, not Memorex.
That needs to say 2000s country song.
You know what?
Because the new channel's 2000s and 20 and
You're
2010.
absolutely right. And I'm sitting here, habit, force a habit, right? Yep. Thank you for
It's definitely forced
doing that.
habit.
Thank you for doing that. All right. One thing I forgot to do, which I'll do now, is so the thumbnail that you guys see, the green in your feed, right? The thumbnail. I need to create a thumbnail real quick. So how I do that is I use, why don't I see it there? I have to do this. Keynote. So Keynote should be down here now. Here we go. And I use these two, I use a lot together, Keynote and iMovie. They go like hand in hand. So why are you bouncing around? Okay, here we go. File, open. So here was my last one for H's video. We're going to remove him. And then I need a good picture of these guys, which I already have here. We're going to bring them on. Right? We're going to size it. And I like to put different. So in this program, obviously, I could put different effects. So I can put a reflective effect. I can put, sort of a frame on there. So the different sort of effects that you can do. I like this one, right? It looks like it's floating on the page. And
the
that's
shadow.
the one,
Yeah.
That's the one that I typically use. And so we'll just size this really good here. Right? And then we'll export it.
And sorry, folks, I am eating my chicken still. And nope, I don't have a baked potato or anything like that.
Oh, you're kidding me. To do that, I need to verify my phone number. Okay, so that's not going to happen today for a couple of different reasons. Let's see. Playlist, we don't have any playlists right now. I think the playlist, I'm going to go by the years when I'm doing this eventually. No, it's not made for kids. So it's going to generate its own thumbnail. Let's see.
Good thing is afterwards you can update the thumbnail.
Yep, I'll do that. And then we'll go to next. I don't want to add an end screen right now. Next. Again, this is us taking the project from the computer to YouTube. This is going to go out to the public because we haven't established anything else with this particular channel. This is pretty much a standalone channel. I'll have to think through memberships. Do I pull people into here, or is this a different whole entity? Plus, we can't do memberships right now with this channel anyway. It's too new. I'm not eligible for memberships yet here. So it's going to go to the public. Everyone can see it. And I'm going to publish it. The first ever video on this new channel. Let's see. It's uploading. Almost done uploading the standard definition.
And understand, folks, that it might end up being blocked temporarily for copyright infringement. So there's
Absolutely.
a step that you have to go through to dispute that.
That's right. So thanks, H. Once you upload the video to YouTube, you guys hear all the time reactors talking about it got blocked, whatever. Sometimes it does for a variety of different reasons, right? They block it. But the good thing is there is an appeals process that you go through. And typically in about a week or so, a week and a half, sometimes 2 weeks, the video gets released by the record company. So Taz, now would be a good time for us to drop the YouTube feed because we are going to take a look at this video. It's not an HD format yet, but we're going to look at the standard definition because it's going to take 41 minutes. It's not an HD process, the HD version. So,
all right. So if you're on YouTube and you want to continue watching, the stream link is in the chat. Be sure to click that, and hopefully we'll see anyone still on YouTube over in StreamYard.
So it's on the screen right now, right? The maybe we should give them like a minute if anybody wants to copy it. Let's just give them a minute to copy and paste. I want to make sure we don't miss anyone who's interested in, following us through this entire process because we're almost done. So, folks, you got 30 seconds.
I think it's just H and I. I think it's just H and I monitoring YouTube right now.
Awesome. Yeah. Okay. Well, let's do it.
All right.